the good times continue on the blend, and we are joined now by, I mean, legacy, history, the name itself, Cifuentes. We're joined by Rafael Cifuentes the third, and he's got a brand new cigar line that we want to get into. We want to welcome you, first of all, Rafael. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's my pleasure. I'm honored to be here with you.
All right, so before we get into this amazing stick that we'll get into right there, look at that thing. It is beautiful already a good ass. And I will say this, I had one before this interview, and it was très magnifique. So I want to get into the whole process about it with you. But obviously, you are the fourth generation of cigar tobacco in your family. There's a fifth generation on the way as well. Tell me about just that whole process. I mean, the legacy, is it a blessing? Is it a burden? How do you manage, a name like Cifuentes and be in the tobacco business?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. But at the end of the day, for me, it's definitely a blessing to be in the tobacco industry. It's been an honor, meeting such incredible people that surround this family. Because at the end of the day, the tobacco business is a big family, and the whole idea is, the idea started when I decided to pay some tribute to my great grandfather, my grandfather, and my father with a product that was made the same way it was made back in Cuba, and with the same tradition and the same standards of quality and tobaccos they used to. In 1871, my great grandfather took a ship from Asturias, Ribadesella, Spain, and sailed in El Bergantín, Havana. It was going to Havana, was doing that route, and he got there and directly went to the tobacco farming. Probably by that time, they already the Spaniards were very much aware of the richness of the Cuban tobacco, and since he was a farmer, his parents were farmers as well. He went to the Tobacco region, but he saw himself involved in the first Cuban-Spanish War, and he volunteered in the Tobacco Volunteers for this Spanish Army, obviously, and since he established himself there, and that was 1871. Since that moment, things started rolling. The war was up on and off for periods of time. He did very much what he knew what to do, which was farming, and became one of the most prestigious farmers, tobacco growers in World Tobacco region. Supplying, the very good factories that were present at that moment. And that's more or less, I felt that, I needed to unveil part of the secrets and paying this tribute to them. And that was the basic motivation to launch this cigar.
Now, the brand is called Altezas Reales, which means Royal Highness. Where does that background come for Altezas Reales?
Well, that it's a story that it's to me it's really beautiful, and it made a lot of sense. When after my great grandfather became owner of the factory in Cuba.
Not just a factory, the Partagas factory, right?
Right.
Oh, by the way, not just a factory, Partagas,
Right. He launched his own brand, and under his own brand, since the factory were the purveyors of the royal houses of Spain and Italy, under his name, he decided to launch this Vitola, which we know today as the doble figurado. It's he called it Altezas Reales. I think probably was part of the mystique of the fact that they were already purveying the royal houses and wanted to honor that that's how that became an idea into my mind, that paying a tribute to him and to his work, and over the years, it would be something that would really cover like the whole history of his path. And also, definitely, my grandfathers and my father, who also worked at the factory for many years, and had a had a tremendous impact in the growth of the company when they were there. Because at the end of the day, this first generation of people that came to Cuba, from Jaume Partagas, from A. Chapman people, from Ramon Ayones, all these excellent people set the standard, a very high standard of quality that lasted, over a century, over a century and a half, and that put the product in the best scenario, the Cuban tobacco could have. Definitely, Cuban tobacco, it's a different kind of tobacco. It's because of the land mainly, and it's because of the climate conditions, and obviously not every piece of land in Cuba is good for growing tobacco. But at the end of the day, there's certain areas, and these people not only farmed those areas, but they invested, and they were buying land, but also giving the farmers, whatever that was required them to grow tobacco in order to secure for the future, the tobacco from themselves. So it was a very unique and healthy competition, because it was just about getting the best product possible, and not so much making money. As time has changed, things have changed. So that, I think, it's really something we need to be grateful as an industry, because they did put a lot of effort and all their knowledge into a product that's become definitely a luxury product. This is for the delight. This is for the enjoyment of people. We strive to do the best we can. I'm very much aware that each manufacturer does the best job they can do, and if they have to go the extra mile in order to improve the product, they will. And it's a product that has a lot of bonding, chemistry among people. People feel identified. It's this kind of bonfire. So it's like everybody relates, when you're smoking a cigar, and that's part of the magic, These cigars are made in El Titán de Bronce. El Titán de Bronce is a small manufacturer here in Florida, Miami, Florida, and Little Havana. They established in 1995, and Sandy Cobos, whom I adore, and Giselle Herrera, great people to work with. When they offered me the possibility to manufacture this in Miami edition limited, it's to me, it was a blessing, and I was truly honored. They did it because they had faith in the project, and definitely because we've known each other and had relationship before, and so that maybe the industry needed to go back to somehow to its roots, and I think they make fabulous products, very well finished. The rollers are top level, it's level 9 rollers that have worked. Having worked at factories like Corona, Partagas, Romeo Julieta, and big factories, so the tobacco is so perfectly fit and so perfectly rolled that you can tell. You can tell it's the wrapper is it has 3 overlaps in terms, so that that's done the old Cuban way, and that's one of the reasons why I picked them, mainly because they even though they are here, and even though they could have decided to go other ways, they decided to respect all the traditions and all the cigar making rules, let's put it that way, that were used in Cuba, and that's, to me, was Not that other people don't do it, but they do. But not to the point of Titan does it.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a factory, a legendary factory of Titon del Bronce here in Miami, it's it's all about quality because you're protecting your last name, your legacy, your family's legacy, and this guy. And so let's talk about these cigars. You've got three Vitolas, right?
Right.
That you're initially rolling out. And before we get to that, September 15th is when it hits the market. It debuts. Why September 15th?
Well, this is it's a very historic date for the Cuban cigar industry. For us, for the owners that we will seize our factories that day in 1960, 15th of September 1960 is one of those days that nobody wants to remember because of what happened. But then again, we have to put it on top of the table and say, listen, it's been 63 years, but we're still here, and we're still pay and distribute and showing people that great cigars can still be made, that there's an industry there that is very healthy, that it's been changing, it's been developing, especially when you're talking about the States, has been able to introduce Dominican cigars, Nicaraguan cigars, Honduras cigars. All these has helped the American consumer have a wider palette for cigars, and mainly it's the reason to choose that date is to make a statement. We're still here, and we're gonna be here, and we're gonna keep on rolling and keep on trying to launch the best cigars we can. That's mainly the reason.
It really touches home for me that you chose September 15th because my birthday is not September 15th, but it is the anniversary of the Cuban Revolution.
Wow.
It's the worst day ever if you're Cuban to be born. And I remember my grandfather said, I told my mom, I'm giving you 364 days. And I landed squarely July 26th, which is like the worst day ever if you're Cuban. But I remember him saying, hey, at least now we have a reason to celebrate on that day. And now, in some way, September 15th, when, Altezas Reales is released, we have a reason to celebrate. So that's I'll always remember that. And I appreciate you releasing it on that day. Okay, so we've got three Vitolas. Talk to me about these guys.
We got a Toro that's 6x52. It's 6x52. That it's a wonderful cigar. It's very round. I mean, you can taste all the flavor and aroma of the blend. It's practically 90%. It's Nicaraguan blend, with some introductions of Ecuador ban and Habano wrapper, and some little hints of Ligero and Dominicano, for example. But at the end of the day, all the I would say that 100% of the tobacco that it's in this in the blend, it's been planted abroad, but it comes from Cuban seeds, like most cigars that are sold in the United States are. And when you asked me before about if it was a blessing or a curse. When you are the fourth generation and you want to pay a tribute, you want to do the best product you can do. I have up to 5 different blenders giving me a hand for free because most of them are friends, and I've been in this industry for 35 years now. I'm selling beef, selling tobacco, consulting. I've been doing a lot of things in the industry. And that's what you have at the end of the day is a very good relationships with people all over, like Nestor Placencia or Manolo Quesada or AJ Fernandez, whom I met at the recently at the we haven't had the chance to meet before, or Rafael Nadal for that matter. They all are willing to give you small tips and small hints. What's the market like? I really felt that people wanted me to succeed, and that's something that really made me proud of my industry. Made me proud of taking this project forward.
Now, I would imagine when you come to market with a product like this and you have that name associated with it, your last name, it's got to be right? You can't cut any corners and stuff. What was the biggest challenge for you? Because the one thing I've always said about cigars is this is not an overnight process. This is 5, 6, 7 years to get it, and then you have to blend it and find it. And you have something sort of like your motto or the logo is the secret is in the blend. So right out of the gate, you're setting the bar high for yourself and for the company.
Yeah. Well, actually, you're 100% right. I mean, at the end of the day, surprisingly, the most difficult part has been it's not been the tobacco. It's not been sourcing the tobacco. Neither it's been getting help from all different families and blenders. The most complicated issue has been boxes, has been rings, has been other things. That shouldn't be, and that's, to me, it sends a message to the industry that we need to take care of people that supply us. Because at the end of the day, obviously, if you don't have tobacco, you don't have a cigar. But if you don't have the proper packaging and you don't have the proper, way to present your product, like it was done back in Cuba, then where are we setting our standard? Where's the standard of the product we want to present? So, just to give you an example, this is the Robusto box. The Robusto box comes with its every box comes with its cedar sheet, because at the end of the day, the cedar plays a very important role in the tobacco. It's a bactericide. It controls humidity. It also gives flavor to the cigar when it's in contact with it, and it's got a reason to be there. If you end up putting that away because of cost, because definitely it's expensive, well, then you're quote unquote sacrificing part of the full experience. You don't have 4 sons and they all smoke cigars, and when we taste cigars, they all identify that the cedar plays a definite role in the taste of the cigar, and that's something that we really wanted to keep in place. This, for example, this box is box number 4 of because there is 1,000 boxes. This one is number 4. It was the roller was Ideva at LT10, and now you can see the presentation. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a mixed box between a cabinet box. It's between a cabinet box. A cabinet box to people that smoke cigars is meant to be a deluxe box. Okay, usually it's 100% wooden, but I introduced the Vista with the Bergantine Havana, which is the ship that my great grandfather took to cross the Atlantic, and these are the traditional Cuban size Robusto 5x50. This is an excellent product made at LT10, and I think it's one of my favorites because it's probably the cigar that you can smoke at any time. In order to smoke a Toro, you need a little bit more time and be able to enjoy pick up the flavors of the cigar after a good dinner or with a good drink, But
I'm thinking this Toro that I'm having. I'm thinking I need to go get me a nice Camus, a nice bottle of red wine. There
you go.
But I will say this: I had the Robusto yesterday.
Yes.
And my compliments to the chef because I did it. I was sitting at Empire Social Lounge in Dayland, which, by the way, is where you will be debuting on September 15th. So if you're in the South Florida area, please see it. And if you can't make it, we'll give you all the websites and all where we can find you so you can get these cigars. But what I remember about that Robusto, Rafa, is it started, it had a little personality to begin with. I'm not going to say spice, but it definitely said, I'm here, look at me, pay attention. And then that second turn, or that turn, that was the smoothest. It was, and then it turned again the last third. I mean, it was a journey. It's exactly what you want a cigar to be. So, and so far with this has just been a smooth ride the whole time.
Right. As it gets to the middle, it'll start getting a little bit more of a punch. Okay. I wanted to do a blend that satisfied the connoisseurs, definitely people that are even used to smoking Cuban cigars. But I also wanted to have a blend that a beginner, a guy that is just started to experience cigars, to try something different. It's just like when you smoke a Monte Cristo, for example, number 2, Monte Cristo number 2 has a very distinctive blend. It's very characteristic. You can tell. It's like I can tell when it's a Partagas Series D number 4 without, no need to see the cigar itself nor the label, because there are distinctive blends, and that's very particular blend is the result of that. I'm trying to keep the good qualities of the tobacco, but yet not to kick out beginners from smoking, because at the end of the day, they're definitely going to try different things. They're definitely going to, and I think, that's a very good effort always, and a good idea. People have, I have in the morning, I have a Corona, and then at lunchtime I have a Robusto, and at dinner I have a Toro, and they even have different origins. Might choose Dominican for the morning because it's so Nicaragua for night. So the idea is trying to satisfy as the larger part of it's a medium-bodied cigar with very defined and characteristic smokes of the Cuban taste, and shouldn't put you off. It should, as you smoke it, should be a steady smoke, but get better as it goes. I agree with you. At the beginning, there's a little punch. That's because some of the tobacco was intended to be like that, is to make a statement. Here I am, but not.
It wasn't overpowering. It wasn't a turn off. It definitely. I was like, wait, what do we got here? It gets your attention.
There you go. We didn't want to kick him out,
So tell me about. I'm a big label guy. I don't know. That's always been my thing. I don't know why. That's my thing. So tell me about the label, the coloring. There's a little crown out there.
Definitely.
Tell me about the thought process and all this.
Yeah, that's also in the idea of paying this tribute to my great grandfather, and I chose AR because I think it did fit the name of the brand, Altezas Reales, and definitely wanted to keep some of the taste of the Cifuentes look alike, That's also a reason for choosing this box color, because it's within the range of color that he used at that time. It was definitely lighter, but at least it was in the range. And the idea of introducing the year he got on the ship, 1871, is that's when his journey started, and that's for me it's the point in time where he decided, I have to go to America, and I have to go to Cuba, and I have to see what I can do, and what is it that it has to offer me, right? And from there, these people and a lot of people that that did the same, especially from Asturias. They were all involved in the tobacco. They were all involved in banking. In different areas. They were all hard workers that have migrated their homeland and to Cuba, but they all came back. Rich, wealthy. We call them Indianos in Spain, and gave back to their hometown, to their communities. You know, my great grandfather, for example, he built a church, he built the schools for kids. He, he was mayor of the town for some time. He built, they were giving back to their land because they were appreciative for where they were from, and to me, the fact that ship is there and that sea that you see is the Ribadesella beach where the ship was taken from, made a lot of sense.
All right, so we've talked about the Vitolas. We talked about September 15th. That's when you're debuting over at Empire Social Lounge. Where can I get these after September 15th? Where can I find these? I need this in my life, Rafa.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. We're in the process of taking this to Casa de Monte Cristo. I want them to be at Casa de Monte Cristo, at Neptune stores as well. JR, it's definitely another possibility. This that are always willing to go the extra mile, and
yeah.
And I will also be selling, but just boxes, not singles from the website. So there'll be something different in terms that people that buy from the website will be buying at the same price as of retailers. But I will try to offer them, the possibility of getting the newbies, the new things that'll be coming forward. I like to do something like have this 100. This is 151 years since my great grandfather landed in Cuba, and I want to do something different in that respect. But at the end of the day, I'll send you my personal email later, and if you are having issues getting the supply because the cigars are ready, they're packed, they're ready for shipping, let me know, and I'll try to get everyone out there their fair bucks. I mean, it's no problem with that.
I love it. Altezasreales.com. That's where you can find it. We'll have all the information here. A beauty of a cigar and a beauty of a man. Rafael Cifuentes III. I appreciate you taking the time, my brother.
Thank you, Jim. It's been a real pleasure, and you're an excellent guy. You do go that extra mile as well. And we'll be in touch. And I hope we can sit and smoke together, after the event. I know you're going to be out traveling, but thank you so much for your time and for your audience. It's been a privilege. Thank you so much.
Altezas Reales, that's the brand. A great cigar. Buenos humos to all, and thank you, my friend.
Thank you.